Hey dude, what's up?
I'm being besieged by a bunch of duplicates of you.
It's Attack of the Clones, jackass!
Welcome back to another Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are talking about Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. So, Bill, what do you think of Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones? Okay. Your silence speaks volumes.
Not really. I like it fine.
I think it's okay. It's kind of the weakest of the prequels, I think.
It's more setup than payoff.
Yeah.
Which is not inherently a bad thing when you're selling your movie series on literally being a trilogy, and this is just the middle of the story.
Yeah. I don't know how to go about talking about this one. It's definitely kind of has become almost like the most important prequel.
Kind of.
Because it sets up all the cartoon shows and everything.
Pretty much. This was the series premiere of Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Both versions.
Yeah, for real. I don't know what to say about this. I feel like this movie looks kind of different than Phantom Menace.
It's definitely more green screen than Phantom Menace.
Yeah, and I think it is a little bit more noticeable than it was in Phantom Menace.
Yeah. Ironically, it's just like, this is just how they make big blockbuster movies now, and they're just better at hiding it.
Yeah.
Though, it's not all, like, there's a lot of green screen stuff, but they're not always compositing in a digital background. There's the big finale scene in the arena. That's a model.
Well, that's interesting and cool.
That's why it looks a little better than some of the other compositing, I think.
Yeah. So, Star Wars Episode 2 is the continuing adventures of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker.
More or less, I guess.
And...
It's 10 years later.
Yes, and Chancellor Palpatine is up to nefarious things in the background.
Well, yeah, I mean, the center of the story is there is a large number of systems who are like, screw this republic, we're gonna go have our own republic with blackjack and hookers. Led by Count Dooku, played by Count Dracula.
Indeed.
And we just, you watch it, you realize, like, oh, it's just all Palpatine, he's just doing all of this. He just orchestrated this entire turn of events to give the Republican army that is completely loyal to him.
Yeah, it's very interesting, the setup of this. The Republic has no army.
It does not.
Which is kind of weird, but I guess each planet had their own, like, defense force, so they didn't really need an army.
Of varying degrees of sizes, as we saw in Episode 1.
Yeah.
Naboo had shit.
Yeah. It's weird. I find Anakin to be kind of weirdly inconsistent in this movie.
A little bit. I mean, a lot of it's that weird dialogue.
Yeah,
It's very overly formal in a lot of places.
Yeah, and I don't really get his... Like, sometimes it sounds like he hates Obi-Wan, but then other times he's like, you're my father. And it's not written well to convey, like, I'm frustrated with you. It's just, like, too extreme sometimes when he
I would say it's
talks.
acted better than it's written sometimes, because every time Obi-Wan is just like, good job, young Padawan, my young Padawan. Every time he says that, Anakin just makes a face. It's like, stop calling me that.
Yeah. Yeah, Obi-Wan is pretty good in this movie.
Like, he's just like, Obi-Wan's like my father. But Obi-Wan's like, good job, pal. It's like, that's not what he needs. He needs a hug.
Good job, sport. Now let's go get McDonald's.
That's what he needed.
Yeah.
That's what he would have got from Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I'll get you a Happy Meal, Anakin. It's like, yay!
That's all I ever wanted. It's like Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. It's just like, I'm ready for the big kids meal. Actually, this is a little big. Yeah, it's funny because this movie, I remember when it came out, I was pretty excited about it. For whatever reason, I have a weird memory tied to this movie where me and my mom were like shopping at Walmart and they put out all like the, new Star Wars toys, and we were like the only ones there, except there was this one like weird guy there too.
Of course.
And he was literally buying a bunch of toys and he was hitting on my mom at the same time.
Wow.
And I was like, this is odd. And my mom's like, let's get out of here. Because, like, we bought a few because they put them out. And my mom's like, yeah, pick up a couple. So, I got a couple. And then, like, this guy was just, like, creeping on my mom. And my mom's like, okay, time to go.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's an unfortunate tie-in memory.
Yeah.
Man. Nowadays, it'd be like 3 of those guys.
Yeah.
If not more. And they'd be filling up their cart with stuff they're going to sell on eBay.
Yeah, it was weird because I think, like, they just put them out. And I guess, really before, collecting culture made having stuff horrible to get now.
You could just walk into a store and buy stuff in those days.
Yeah. But yeah, this guy was like filling up a shopping cart and it was weird. But I got a couple of the toys. I remember getting the C-3PO.
I just realized something. If you had killed that guy, we'd all be in a better place because he was probably the source of it all.
He was the source.
The source of scalping.
He was Scalper Prime.
Yes. You should have destroyed him while you had the chance.
Oh, man.
But you failed.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember having the C-3PO, the Jango Fett, who was awesome. His helmet came off. The Mace Windu, because he had a purple lightsaber, an Obi-Wan, and Anakin with his dirty poncho. Which, that poncho was way dirtier in the movie than I remembered. It was a really dirty poncho.
They were supposed to be refugees, but she was dressed a little too nice.
Yeah, she was dressed all fancy, and, like, Anakin had, like, a dirty poncho for some reason. And it was dirty. There's like a big stain on it. And I was like, why is it so dirty? Come on, Anakin. Didn't Obi-Wan teach you how to wash your clothes?
No! Because brothers don't teach their younger brothers that. Fathers teach that. And
Yeah.
Anakin needed a father.
Yeah. So, how do we get into this movie?
The whole center of the story started from because Padme is like a key opponent of the Military Creation Act. She gets a target for assassination, but it's not just because of that. It's also because the freaking guy from the first movie who's so like, I want her dead.
The Newt Gunray guy, right?
Yeah, who's somehow still in charge of the Trade Federation.
Yeah, you think Padme would be kind of more pro-military after what happened on Naboo?
I guess she just doesn't like the idea of the Republic having a military. That would make it the central government too powerful, I guess. That's her stance.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, led to the Empire.
I mean, she's not wrong.
we see that she's right, I guess.
Yeah.
Especially because it's a clone army and not like an army of just like raw recruits who'd be like, whoa, we're killing the what now? The Jedi? What?
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? I'm not doing that. That's my friend. Whereas the clones are like, yes, sir. Die, Jedi.
Yeah. It's weird because this is where we see the clone soldiers. This is, the beginning of the Clone Wars, and the Jedi had no idea that they were getting clones made for them because Obi-Wan has to investigate.
He's tracking Jango Fett.
Yeah.
Jango Fett was hired to kill Padme, but I guess maybe Jango was just like, killing a senator, it's a bit too much noise, so I'm going to have somebody else do it for me.
Yeah.
But they're going to fail, so I'm going to kill them, and I'm just going to fuck off.
Yeah. It's weird. We get that, like, beginning of the movie car chase scene. Just pretty ridiculous. I forgot that Obi-Wan is the one that just literally jumps out the window after the droid that released the worms to kill Padme.
Yeah.
Also, yeah, those worms. Ugh. I don't like that.
Bugs. Nah, man.
Yeah, it's weird. We get to see a lot more of Coruscant in this movie, too.
Oh, yeah.
Which, Coruscant, more or less, is just a gigantic city planet.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting. Part of me kind of wonders, how does that place have air? But...
I mean, it might still have an ocean. I don't know.
That's true.
Or it's artificial.
That's true. They have so much magic technology in Star Wars that
Exactly.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I like seeing Obi-Wan's friend, Dexter Jettster. It's so weird,
It's
but...
a 50s space diner.
Yeah. I can't remember. That guy shows up a couple times in the Clone Wars cartoon, right?
I don't remember if he does. Other members of his race do, I think. He was also supposed to be in that Star Wars Detours cartoon that never got released.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. Like, Obi-Wan just got, like, this friend. He takes, like, this poison dart thing to him, and he's just like, oh, these are made by cloners on whatever that planet. Camino.
Yeah, there's actually a few deleted scenes in this movie. One of them is him actually getting it inspected by droids. Just like, yeah, we can't figure this out. He's like, I think I know a guy. But they're like, yeah, we don't need that scene. We'll just have him go to the guy and be like, yeah, my droid's gonna figure it out. Can you tell me what this is?
Yeah.
There's a few scenes like that where it's like, well, we didn't really need this scene.
Yeah, it's funny. Camino is interesting because it's like always raining. It's like mostly a water planet, I guess.
Seems to be.
Which is a very interesting setting.
Nice change from all the damn desert planets this franchise keeps getting.
Yeah, also, I just find it weird that, like, Obi-Wan is wearing his, like, Jedi cloak, and it's, like, raining, and he puts the hood, and I'm like, man, that thing is, like, I don't know what that thing's made out of, but the thing is soaked, and it's just, it feels like it would be heavy. Like, filled with all that water.
Probably. It's probably why Jango Fett gave him such a run for his money.
Yeah.
That was a cool thing this movie had. We had Jango Fett, who was Boba Fett, who actually does stuff.
Yeah.
Before the Mandalorian took that role.
Indeed.
And he actually fights Obi-Wan at one point.
I would say all the Jango Fett stuff in this movie is actually pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, like nice little space battle between the former Slave One.
Right.
And the Jedi Starfighter.
That's one of the best scenes in the movie, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool.
I love in this movie, and I guess like the prequel movies too, the guns seem to shoot so fast in these movies, especially when he's like going through like the asteroid field. First he like sends those like crazy bombs out that just make this like crazy sound that like blow up everything in the asteroid field, but then he's chasing him and the guns are just firing so fast and he's like doing so many like maneuvers to get away. It's a really good scene, I think.
My only issue with that scene, and it's such a dumb nitpick that only exists because I played the video game Jedi Starfighter, and I'm like, Obi-Wan, shoot back. That ship has lasers.
Yeah. It's cool. Like, I like a lot of the technology in the prequels. I like the Jedi Starfighter and how it has like that ring that it connects to go through hyperspace. It's really neat.
It's a neat touch. It's a cool design.
Yeah. I don't know, what else in this movie? Want to talk about weird Padme and Anakin stuff?
I guess we should, right? That is the biggest source of contention for most people in this movie.
Anakin has some really bad lines.
Everyone always fixates on the sand line.
And that's not even like the worst one. And granted, I can't really remember them off the top of my head, but he says a few like really like stuff to Padme that's like kind of like too weird. It's like, come on, man. Like, why are you talking like that?
He's a space monk. He's got no game.
Yeah. It's weird.
And it's like he's met one girl in his entire life and he's been fixated on her ever since.
Yeah. I guess like it's mostly chalked up to like the script, but
and the direction.
Yeah, because it's kind of like
I think you punch up some of that dialogue, those scenes go down a lot better.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, like
I feel like the structure is there.
Yeah.
It's the dialogue and the direction of the dialogue that kind of lets it down a bit because there's only so much that the actors can do.
Yeah. It seems so
But also those scenes, they're not that long.
They're not.
They go by pretty quick, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just used to them, so I don't even fixate on them anymore. I'm like, yep, okay. Ooh, Obi-Wan.
Yeah. I don't get, like, Padme is all like, I'm a senator. I can't be in a relationship.
With a Jedi.
With a Jedi,
who are supposed to have relationships.
Yeah, that's weird.
That is like a very scandalous relationship in universe, I would assume.
Okay.
Jedi aren't supposed to have relationships. But and a Jedi is getting into a relationship with a fucking galactic senator?
Yeah, it's weird.
That's that destroys his career as a Jedi. Destroys her political career, probably.
Yeah, the Jedi are a weird thing because they're like
a weird space cult.
Yeah, they're like celibate. They're like no attachments.
I don't know
possession.
how celibate they actually are. It's like no attachment. So I guess that means you could you could bang whatever you want. Just don't feel anything afterwards.
Oh man.
Because I think I think he might have said that.
Okay.
So, like not as vulgar as I put it,
yeah.
but it's like because all these people.
You can have intimacy, but you can't, like, have any attachment.
Yeah. So, it's like, how much? All right, let's go. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, I needed that.
So weird. Master Yoda, you're a regular at this brothel.
Don't ask.
Yeah. So weird. That whole aspect of the Jedi is just bizarre and odd. It's weird, though. I'm trying to think, like, because all, like, the Padme Anakin stuff, at least when they're on Naboo, is kind of like, like, I kind of like check out of the movie a little bit.
There was almost more of it.
Oh man.
There was a few scenes where Anakin meets Padme's family.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen them in years, but it's not too many. There's like a couple of them. The funny thing is, you see that family again in Episode 3 at her funeral. Mm. It's like, hey, we cut your scenes, but we still need you in this movie.
Yeah. There's a few, like, there's some instance of Anakin kind of being, like, a little brat, where, like, they're having some meeting, and then I guess, like, the new queen of Naboo is all like, what do you think, Master Jedi? And Padme is just like, he's not a Jedi, he's a Padawan. And Anakin's like, I'm a Jedi, I'm a big boy.
He has an inferiority complex.
Yeah.
Because the way Obi-Wan talks to him, and he's just like, it's like, why does everyone always treating me like a stupid kid?
Yeah. Obi-Wan's kind of snarky in these movies as they go on.
Absolutely.
It's kind of the best thing about him.
I mean, my favorite line, I think, from him in this movie is when they're at the arena about to all get executed, and it's like, what are you doing here? It's like, it's okay, I sent the message like you asked, and we decided to come rescue you. And he's like, good job.
Yeah, that's definitely one of his best lines. It's like, good job. So funny.
Yeah. I do like the subplot where Anakin is having nightmares about his mother, her being in danger.
Yeah.
Because he's literally sensing her actually being in peril. Because as he finally breaks down and goes to Tatooine, finds out she was captured by the Sand People.
Yeah.
Presumably forced to dig for weird rocks in the desert like Boba Fett was.
Yeah, I guess that's all they do. Is just like, dig for fruit.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is not a Disney movie, so
darker undertones implied.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of darkness in Star Wars.
Why do you think Jabba dressed Leia like that?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
And, he snaps and he kills all the fucking Sand People.
Yeah.
And I like that scene. I even like his confession to Padme. That was so weird that she's not like, ah! and runs away.
You're a monster.
You psychopath.
Yeah. Because he doesn't say, like, I killed them all. The women and the children.
I killed them, too.
Yeah.
Brutally.
And their dogs.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, the dog... He killed babies, probably. We don't know.
Yeah. It's hardcore.
It's the guy that becomes Darth Vader.
That's true. And I don't know, like, seeing these movies, you kind of, like, think to yourself, like, man, they should have shown more of, like, Anakin's and, like, because we get, like, one interaction between Anakin and Senator Palpatine, where, like, Palpatine's all like, you're the most powerful Jedi I've ever met, and you will be great someday. But I think it would be more interesting if it was kind of like, because it kind of happens, but you see more of their relationship before the third one, where he's kind of telling Anakin, like, how bullshit the government is, and, how, like, if only I had more power, I could make this run so more efficiently. And because, like, Anakin has some lines with Padme where he's kind of like, there's too much bureaucracy, there should be, like, one person in control, and the people should be made to listen, and stuff like that.
She's like, that's a dictatorship. And he's like, well, if it works.
Yeah, some extra scenes with, like...
Padme, blind to all the red flags.
Yeah, seriously.
Even the most blood-covered, so much blood. He's covered in the blood of children. Red flags.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Which kind of makes you think when she's in episode 3, when she's like, you killed younglings. It's like, bitch, you know this.
You know what I'm about when we started dating.
Our engagement was made on the blood of the Sand People babies.
Yeah.
Oh god.
It's kind of crazy. It's weird. There's some other stuff in episode 2 that's interesting too. Usually I always forget about this, but in this movie, just because seeing Yoda interact with the children, I was just like, oh yeah, Grover.
Here.
Yeah.
Far.
I was just like, wow, that's right. Yoda is Grover. So weird.
And Fozzie.
Yeah.
Waka waka.
I think Yoda and Mace Windu, anytime they have like a scene together, is pretty cool. And that must have been kind of difficult for Samuel L. Jackson, just because it's like, I'm acting against nothing right now.
I don't even have the dignity of the puppet anymore.
Yeah.
What the hell? Is Frank Oz even on set?
But yeah, there's a lot of Yoda stuff in this movie,
Oh yeah.
which is pretty cool. You know, I like seeing Yoda in this movie. He looks pretty good. Like, you know, he's CG and everything. I like his weird little hover car that he has in one scene for some reason. It's just like, why is...
It's like, we gotta do a walk and talk, but Yoda's too slow. Put him on a thing.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, his little hover car. His Scooty Pup Jr.
Yeah, and you know, the lightsaber.
Yeah. There's one thing, too, in this movie that I thought was interesting. So,
What's that?
when we're on Geonosis, you know, Obi-Wan Kenobi gets captured by Count Dooku.
Yeah?
And Count Dooku literally tells him what's up.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, the Senate is being controlled by, like, a Sith Lord named Darth Sidious. And part of me is like, was this, like, Count Dooku kind of trying to be, like, hey, my plan is to actually, you know, portray Darth Sidious and become the Sith Lord. Because, like, he's, like, kind of saying to Obi-Wan, like, help me defeat Darth Sidious and stuff. And, like, Obi-Wan's like, I don't believe you. That's ridiculous. And, like, he literally told him everything.
I know.
It's crazy.
Maybe on some level, you know, Sith always are thinking about, all right, I gotta betray the master.
Yeah.
Who should my apprentice be? Obi-Wan. He's like my grandson.
Yeah.
Because I was Qui-Gon's master.
I just thought that was so nuts that he just, like, told him.
I know.
Like, they know. They know since the beginning of the Clone Wars. The only thing he didn't say is, like, it's Senator Palpatine. He's
Yeah.
Darth Sidious.
Well, I mean, knowing that they're being manipulated, but knowing who's doing the manipulating, that's two different things.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know who to trust, and now you're like, fuck.
We get Senator Palpatine manipulate Jar Jar and giving him emergency powers.
Which I guess was to placate all the people that hated Jar Jar. See, look, Jar Jar sucks. We know.
Yeah.
He's in this movie for like 2 minutes and really fucks the galaxy for life.
Yeah, he's in more of the movie than I thought. I know, like, in episode 3, he's barely in it.
He's literally in 3 seconds of that movie.
Because he talks sometimes in this movie.
He's got a few lines.
Yeah. But, yeah, Dooku is such a weird character. I mean, an interesting character, because at first I'm like, what is up with this guy? But then, you know, of course, as the movie goes on, it's just like, I'm home, Darth Sidious, and it's like, oh, I guess he's just evil.
More or less.
Yeah, but just tells him.
I wish he was in more of the movie.
Yeah, he's not really in the movie that much.
He doesn't show up till like over halfway through. He's talked about.
Yeah.
We learned a little about him. He used to be a Jedi. He's the leader of the Separatist movement.
Yeah, he was Qui-Gon's master.
Yeah.
And
Yoda's apprentice, apparently.
yeah, which is interesting.
Indeed.
It's like, I thought Yoda just trained everybody, but
I guess he, at one point, took a Padawan.
okay. It's cool. I'm trying to think of some other scenes in this movie that are worth talking about.
Oh, you know, we got the big arena fight with all the Jedi. That was like a big marketing thing with this. Like, look at all these Jedi with lightsabers.
Yeah, and, you know, to be fair, I think that's the only time we see a bunch of Jedi in a movie, like, fight like that, like, all together.
Yeah, it is.
Because they never...
They're all separate in Revenge of the Sith, and
Yeah.
then there's just no Jedi for the rest of the saga.
Yeah. I like... It's so weird, because in that arena, you know, Obi-Wan's great line with good job, but Padme's like battle outfit that she gets like slashed and all of a sudden it's just like her belly is showing now. I'm like, how did that happen? She got slashed in the back.
How did that tear go so perfectly?
Yeah. So weird. Also, I like how she's still rocking the chrome ship.
Well, until it gets blown up.
Yeah.
Well, then she gets the other one.
Yeah.
That one didn't get blown up.
No. But yeah, the arena stuff is kind of ridiculous because it's like, hey, instead of killing these Jedi and the Senator, let's feed them to our menagerie of creatures.
A weird lizard rhino, a spider crab.
That spider crab alien has been ripped off in so many video games, and I don't know if Star Wars invented that, but I've seen that at least in 3 other video games now.
I couldn't tell you. And also there was a weird, I don't know, giant rat.
Yeah, it had like fur and stuff.
That was a rat. It had a rat tail and everything.
Okay.
I mean, it looks rodent-like, right?
Yeah.
It's a tiger rat.
Yeah. I do like how they're all like, you know, chained up, and then Padme's like picking the lock, and then like Obi-Wan's like, well, looks like Padme knows what she's doing. She immediately gets to the top of the pillar.
You know, it's funny. When this movie first came out, heard Clone Wars this, Clone Wars that, and I was like, Clone Wars? And then rewatching the original movie, and then I hear the word Clone Wars, and I was like, wait, what? Because for some reason, Luke saying,
"You fought in the Clone Wars?"
just always went over my head. And I was like, whoa, that is so cool. Did they add that line? What's happening? But it's always been there.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I just never noticed it until it was pointed out by the movies.
Yeah. It is a weird thing, like, the cloners are just like the clones are much better than droids because they can like think and feel and make decisions unlike droids.
As we've seen, some of these droids are pretty stupid.
Yeah, I mean the Roger droids are.
They're pretty worthless, especially in the Clone Wars cartoon where they're just cannon fodder by that point.
Yeah, I mean there's the big bulky ones and the ones that like roll around that are.
Those are still dangerous.
Yeah, the fight in the arena is pretty insane because we got all the Jedi and Mace Windu is just like wrecking shit. I wish we got to see more of him just because, you know, we watched that Genndy Tartakovsky animation of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And
I don't think you got that last name right at all.
I don't know how to say it. Samurai Jack, man.
Sure, that's probably
primal guy.
Yeah.
He does very good work.
And he did the 2D Clone Wars cartoon.
Yes, and you get to see Mace Windu do some awesome shit.
He punches robots with his bare hands.
Yeah, and I was kind of like, man, I wish he did that stuff in live action, but oh well.
I don't know if people would accept that in live action.
I love how casually he defeats Jango Fett, though.
He felt nothing. He cut that man's head off in front of his son.
Seriously, he is just like, you're just another like person in the way of my mission. And like the way he cuts his head off too, there's like almost like a moment where he cuts it off and he just kind of like poses like with his lightsaber out. And it's just like, whoa.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't mind if Mace Windu turned up to be alive and maybe a little evil now, so he could have a confrontation against the now good Boba Fett.
Be interesting. You know, I always think too, when you see the young Boba Fett pick up the Jango Fett's like helmet, I always wonder like when he picks it up, it's like, did his head like slide out of there?
Right, like as soon as the cut away, it was just bloop, and he was like, ah!
That's in the other special edition George Lucas didn't get to make.
Oh, he made it. He just can't release it.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's in my personal collection. I call it the snuff edition.
Yeah.
You see so much more in it.
He picks it up, and I'm like, yo, there's something in there.
Unless it rolled out at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it did.
Star Wars is violent.
Pretty violent pretty sure this movie was rated PG, too.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because the first one to be rated PG-13 was Revenge of the Sith.
Right.
Because much more dead children in that movie.
That's true. Plus, Anakin getting his skin burned off.
Yep.
From lava. But yeah, it's interesting how the Clone Wars like begin, because it's almost like the Separatists were making an army, and, you know, the Republic having a clone army kind of, I guess, you know, intentionally, because that's Palpatine's plan, escalated it into a full-scale war.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Where the Separatists' whole idea was just like, I don't know exactly what it was, but it was just like, hey, we have an army, leave us alone. We don't want to be part of this bullshit anymore. And Republic is kind of like, no, you have to be part of this bullshit.
And if you think about it, Palpatine's plan is pretty clever.
Yeah.
Because all the people that have armies seems to be in the Separatist group. And since he's controlling both groups, he can ensure one wins and one loses. So not only does he wipe out the main opposition to his planned empire, he has all this power that he amasses with his emergency powers he's just able to like say, we're an empire now.
Yeah. I do like when he gets
Spreads out the Jedi,
Yeah.
makes it easy to kill them.
I like when he gets his emergency powers and he's like, I intend to give up these powers once this crisis is over. No, you don't.
No, he will never give them up.
You're a bad man.
Over his dead body.
Yeah. Yeah, we get Anakin fighting Darth Dooku.
Darth Tyrannus.
Darth Tyrannus.
That's
which
a name
is
we-
only said like once in the movie.
Twice.
Twice?
Jango Fett mentions being hired by a man called Tyrannus, and Sidious greets him. He's like, welcome home, Lord Tyrannus.
Right. It's a pretty cool Sith name, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine.
But,
We never hear it, really. I
yeah.
don't remember if it was ever brought up in the Clone Wars ever. I don't know.
Yeah, he's always just Count Dooku.
It might have come up at least once. I think I remember maybe Obi-Wan calls him in at one point, like angrily. It's like, or should I say Darth Tyrannus?
How did
don't
Obi-Wan know that? He never introduced himself like, hey, by the way,
I think he put two and two together.
I guess like some intelligence. He's just like, who's
He's
Darth?
the one who got the name Tyrannus from Jango.
Oh, that's right.
He put two and two together because Obi-Wan's not a moron.
Yeah, he is pretty smart.
Mostly.
Yeah. He's got pretty good hair in this movie, too. The long hair beard combo is pretty good. It's on point.
Better than that weird whatever's going on with Anakin.
Yeah, I don't like Anakin's hair in this movie.
I don't get the Padawan braid. I don't get that.
He even has like a little thing in the back. too.
Obi-Wan had it too. I don't
Yeah.
get that. What is the point of that? Is that supposed to be just like a samurai homage?
Maybe. I don't know.
It looks goofy.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's dumb.
Agreed.
I don't like their stupid like hooded like coat blankets either.
I don't mind it.
I think they look stupid.
It's fine. I think I like Anakin's Jedi robes better than Obi-Wan's, maybe because they're black. I'm like, yeah, black. Black like your heart.
Yeah, because you're gonna be evil someday.
Yeah.
You bad man.
Evil!
Yeah, but I guess they saved the day by starting a war, and then Anakin and Padme get married at the end in secret.
Yeah. And the movie briefly reminds me that, oh yeah, Bail Organa was in this.
Yeah, it also is like, hey, C-3PO and R2-D2 shenanigans, which I was like, oh yeah, I like R2, but oh man, C-3PO, just like there. Gets his head on one of the robot guy bodies, and it's so stupid.
You know what I always wondered? I'm like, so did they tell the Lars family that they were taking C-3PO, or was Anakin just like, fuck this, I'm taking this guy.
I just killed a bunch of Tusken Raiders.
This is mine, I'm taking it.
Yeah, they kind of just like peace out, like without being like, hey, we're going, see ya.
Well, they had the funeral, and they go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. The one guy's like, I guess I'm your stepbrother. And it's just like, oh, right, because that's the guy that ends up raising Luke.
And turning into a skeleton.
That too. But that's his final form.
I know they're bringing that actor back for the Obi-Wan show, so we will see him again.
Okay.
I think maybe the Emperor too.
Okay.
I'm assuming she'd be there, even if briefly. I assume they'll probably get the same actress, if they can.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Ultimately, I don't know. I always thought of this as like the worst Star Wars movie, but that definitely is not the case anymore.
Insert Rise of Skywalker here.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Yeah. It's not a great movie though. It's kind of boring in places.
It at least sets up the next movie.
Yeah.
And that's what a middle chapter in an actual intended trilogy should do. Like if you're actually doing this is a trilogy, a beginning, a middle, and end. Yeah, have a middle. Set up stuff.
Yeah.
They set up a bunch. Anakin and Padme and their secret marriage and the consequences that will become of that. The Clone Wars, Palpatine just getting more and more powerful politically.
Yeah. Anakin losing his hand.
Yeah.
So he's like, this is his first step into becoming cyborg Darth Vader.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly what that is.
I always think, I remember when I saw this with like my mom and dad. My mom and dad were like, oh, he lost his hand like Luke Skywalker did.
It's like poetry, it rhymes.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the same hand, but...
I don't know.
I don't know. They show his like gross like robot mechanical hand at the end too. He like holds Padme's hand. She's like, ew, get that off me. Gross.
I always think it was kind of cool that like Dooku just fucked up Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Like he just maimed them. And then Yoda shows up and makes him his bitch.
Yeah.
He freaking absorbed the Force lightning. That was crazy.
That is cool. Like he shoots it back at him, but he literally just grabs it and just like makes it go away.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yeah. We don't get to see Yoda do that much stuff with the Force, but the times we do, it's pretty cool.
And this was the first time we ever saw him whip out a lightsaber.
Yeah. It's kind of funny.
It's crazy.
So little, too. It's just like,
size matters not, motherfucker.
yeah. It's like, we're going to duel with swords. It's like, this is not fair. You're too tiny. It's just like, just immediately cuts his ankles off.
I am so old too that they have to put my head on somebody else's body. Somewhat noticeable at points if you know to look for it.
Yeah, I was trying to see that stuff, but I didn't notice it.
It's kind of quick. I don't know how noticeable it is if you're not like really looking for it or pausing and be like, yeah, I see the head.
That's not him.
That's not Christopher Lee's body.
Yeah, and Dark Dooku's weird shaped lightsaber. She was like, what's up with that?
It's fancy.
It is fancy.
He's a fancy man.
I mean,
he wears a cape. He's a fancy man.
And he's got that ship that's gold and has the sail.
I think that's just from the Geonosians, though.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
Oh, man, that thing was cool, though.
It was neat.
Well, anything else about Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars, Clone Attack of the Clones?
You want to try that one again?
Maximum clonage.
Oh my god.
That's what George Lucas's director's cut was going to be called. Maximum clonage.
Clones everywhere. Just quick bullet points. I understand why he felt the need to do CGI armor of the clone troopers because of all the pirating that happened with the stormtrooper armors, but I wish they were just wearing regular armor. I think it would have looked much better.
Yeah, they're very noticeable, that, especially that scene at the end when you see them all. It's just like, wow, this is the best looking like PS3 game I've ever seen in my life.
Nah, come on, it's at least the PS4 cutscene.
Yeah, you know what, I'll give it to him. Yeah, PS4.
Come on, it's ILM, man.
Yeah, there is the scene that everybody referenced with like Padme laying in the sand and the one like clone trooper like walks up and he doesn't help her up. It's just kind of like, are you okay? And then she like just gets up and she's like, why didn't he just be like, here, take my hand, I'll help you up. It's like, because he's not real.
Limitations of the time.
Yeah.
She would have clipped that armor bad.
Yeah, maybe they should have made at least a couple of like clone troopers for real, just so they could interact with some of the people.
We didn't see real clone troopers until the Book of Boba Fett.
Wow, really? Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, they were only in the 2 movies.
Yeah. But
They're CGI in both of them.
It's weird. This is like the first instance of the clones too, and I was kind of like, which one is Captain Rex?
Some people like to think that the trooper that went to help her was Captain Rex, I think.
Okay.
But I think Captain Rex would have helped her up.
Yeah. It's like, which one's Rex? Which one's Cody? Come on. I know you're there.
I mean, we see Cody in the next movie.
Yeah, we do.
Captain Rex, Not in live action yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Unofficially. I guess there's that guy in Return of the Jedi they decided is Captain Rex.
Which is fine. I'm like, whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
He's just weirdly in the background. Fine.
Is it bad that I'm just like, oh, that guy's Captain Rex? Finally, something's connected to the Star Wars I grew up with.
From the Star Wars that you actually grew up with.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, you were already a man when this show came out.
I know. Exactly. Whatever.
Oh my God.
Well, I guess that's it for the Out of Touch podcast this week. Star Wars Episode 2. It's a weird movie.
But it's not the worst Star Wars movie.
Definitely not.
Definitely not. Oh God, they're back.
What are we going to do about this, Bill?
I'll get a gun.